Hey, what's up, guys? Got a 15-10 unrated game against an opponent rated 8-3-1 from the Netherlands. And we've got e4, e5. And I've just played knight to f3. The normal kind of opening. Okay. Looks like he's going for a bishop fianchetto there, but that actually hangs this pawn. Hangs this pawn, queen here. Let's develop the other knight first to make sure this pawn is defended. Now, if he does fianchetto, then that pawn is defended. All right. I'm going to develop my other bishop. Target f7. Oh, that looks loose. So there's a couple of things here. I can take this pawn. The only way to recapture is with the g pawn. I can take this knight, which will ruin his kingside castling ideas. If I allow him to push, I don't like that very much. If I allow him to take, that's all right, but I don't want him to push here. So I'm going to take the pawn first of all. My knight isn't in any danger here. Now I'm going to castle. Prepare to get my rook onto the now semi-open e-file. Yes, this is an unnecessary pawn move. So my knight can't go there or there because of the bishop or there, so he's going to have to retreat. Which is not a bad thing. I actually had this in the game earlier on. Then I tried to do this thing with my queen on here and drop my bishop to this square, to force the g-pawn to move and then win the rook. What I didn't realise is his knight was back on, you know. And okay, so this pawn is undefended. My opponent is underdeveloped. I'm thinking of d3 because I need to get my bishop out. I think d3 looks like a very good move. Alright, it's attacking my bishop. I just drop that to b3. It's a nice place, very solid, still controlling a gorgeous diagonal. And this king, you see, this is the problem with not castling your king early enough. He's now overextended in the middle of the board, but he's underdeveloped. And the king is not going to get to safety on that side. If he's going to go to this side, he's got 1, 2, 3 pieces to clear out of the way first. So I have 2 attackers on this pawn, he has 2 defenders. I'm just going to bust open. Right? It's really not much to think about. If your opponent's king is still in the middle of the board, you are safe and castled, then break open the centre. If he recaptures with d, I could trade queens and break his castling rights. It's going to make it slower for him to complete development. Well, he won't be able to complete development, really. Okay, so expecting this. This is kind of ties these pawns up. But I'm going to break open anyway. He'll probably recapture with f. Now I have 1, 2, 3 attackers on here, but he has 1, 2, 3 defenders. Also, the question is, how's he going to get safe? At least he's developed something. Now if I push here, he could drop the bishop back. I could develop my bishop to here, or I could develop my bishop to here. Either of these 2 squares. If I come to here, it pins this knight, which actually removes one of the defenders of there. So I'm going to go with that, I think. This one, no, I'll go with this one. Bishop on here, you know, it's looking at c7, but not much else. So still, his problem is, the critical thing in the position is his king isn't castled. So what he should do now is develop his knight, get his queen off the back rank, get the king to safety. 100% that is his concern right now. Okay, I can just drop back, maintain the pin, because he has no g-pawn, because he's lost it. So the pin is still on. which means I can actually take this pawn for free. The knight can't capture, so if bishop takes, he just loses a bishop. So first piece to fall is a pawn. Or he can upgrade to losing a queen if he wants. Another thought is to try and get a rook onto d1. Maybe capture this pawn, because that's pinned and that's pinned. See, I've got this and a rook on there. They'd both be pinned against the queen, so nothing could recapture. And that would be a win. That would be a big win to remove the e-pawn, seeing as the king's still on the e-file. Okay, now I have this, but he's got c6, he's got knight c6. Does that improve his situation or mine? It improves his. I mean, yeah, he gets a knight out of the board. Yes, it is pinned. But I'm thinking, oh, he's broken the pin as well now, of course. So this knight is now a defender of this pawn. So he does now have 3 defenders again. That isn't on, but I could take out the knight and then queen h5 check. He's got bishop though. I can't come here because there'd be a bishop on there. Not just this. Yeah, I just want to chip away at the centre. These two pawns, although they are a bit overextended, are still central pawns and they are advanced pawns, and this one's in my space. Takes. I've probably got knight takes. I think knight takes and then get my knight into the centre looks sensible. If he castles, his king's going to be on here. He's not doing bad, actually. He's not doing bad. I've been playing a bunch of blitz recently. Got up to 1491, my highest ever. Then I lost a couple. I was really desperate to crack 1500 for the first time. Queen on here, rook d1. Pins this pawn. Means I can take there. If knight takes, queen takes. Queen takes from there. So I think queen e2 looks good. Taking his time. Takes here, I'll probably take with the knight and then queen e2. Connect the rooks. This knight on the back rank is not where a knight needs to be. Knights are they're short range fighters, right? They're close range. They want to be in the action. They want to be up in your opponent's face. It's taken a long time over this move. Okay, that's not bad. All right, so now, thinking this. He would have knight here though. Still 3 defenders on this pawn. I want to get my queen. Now if I do go here, thing is, we know his king's going to the left. If I do this, if I allow this, I've got like, I just pin the knight. Let's create another pin. Create another pin. And if I do that, I take the queen with check, and he can't recapture my queen. That's the problem. See, my queen's here. He comes in with an attack on my queen. Yes, exposing his queen, but my capture comes with check, so he has to get out of check on the next turn. He hasn't got time to take my queen with his knight. Just told him the video will be on YouTube later, so He says, lol, why? I have no idea what I'm even doing. Said, you're doing okay. I've actually got my second over the board game match later today. It's a bit odd because really weird night's sleep. It's been super hot here, like really hot, like nearly 30 degrees Celsius. It's like getting on for 90 Fahrenheit, which won't be like shocking for many people, but you know, when you're pale faced like me, you know, living in semi-Arctic conditions, then it's real hot. Also, it's full moon, so it's harder to sleep soundly at full moon, as everyone knows. Was it full moon last night? Might have been. Or the night before, I don't know. He's slowed right down now. See, he blitzed out his first moves, didn't he? 2 seconds, 10 seconds, 5. Nothing above 20 seconds until move 9. And that's a common issue. You know, people blitzing out their first moves of the game in the opening and already creating a problem. This bishop might want to come back here at some point. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling a little bit... Oh, what? Okay, that just says unnecessary pawn move. He probably wants to do this. You can force that. Yeah, he wants to break the pin on the knight, but that's not really the way to do it. Yeah, I can now do this move, which I wanted to do anyway. Then I've got rook d1. Then I can take this for free. If knight takes, yeah, pawn takes even. Pawn takes isn't even bad, you know. Just again, just chipping away at these. This oh, hello, hello. Hang on. I take here, and this knight is pinned. Maybe I should centralise my rook first, so he can't even take back with this. Let's do that, just for a laugh. Do I need to be worried about that? No, I'll just go here. That's alright. Okay, rook d1. And now this is a real danger, because this pawn will be pinned. Well, pawn is pinned, and this knight will also be pinned. Okay, this isn't a concern. This is. And I'm going to have 1, 2 attackers on this knight. He's got 1, 2 defenders. What's the idea? Plus, so he can't take with this pawn, right? That is not a scary move. What's he going to do? He's going to can't take that pawn because bishop's defending. Right, let's go ahead and do this. So you see, this pawn is pinned. Can't capture because the queen falls, right? This knight is pinned. That's an absolute pin. I'm getting my colours all messed up now, look. You can tell I'm tired. Right, but the danger is e5. It's called attacking the pin piece. This isn't an absolute pin, cannot move without putting the king in check, and that is illegal. Okay. That was a good find. Now, for example, if I block with a knight, then this knight is unpinned and can take. Not really. Can take there, but then knight takes. That was a good move. I think that's his best move of the game so far. I could just sidestep here. Then he might take my rook. But then I take this knight for free. Okay, so knight f3. Knight f3 is probably the move. There's no reason to give up a whole rook. right? And the thing is, my threats are still there. They're still kind of hanging. Knight f3, and I've threatened this. Yeah, knight 3. He really ought to take now, because this is now just pretty nasty. Although it does, like I say, hang my own queen, but that doesn't come with check. If I go here, it's a royal fork. King has to move. He's got 5 options. If he goes there, I can take the queen with check, and that's just losing. So that's not an option. So he's got 4 options. If he goes here, I can take this pawn with check, so that's probably not ideal either. See, this is... Ooh, actually, I've also just got takes the bishop. And that then reinstates the pin on the knight too. Here, king moves, I take bishop, queen takes, I could just take the queen because the only defender is now repinned. Makes sense? Okay, so this is the threat. High take here. King has to move. Right, unless you can capture the knight, because you can't block a knight check, you can't block a knight attack. So he has to either capture the knight or he has to move the king. Right? King moves somewhere. I take the bishop. Oh, in fact, the king might move out of the pin. That's annoying. That is annoying. Huh. Very interesting. I've got 3 attackers on this pawn now. So I've got 2 defenders. This pawn's actually pinned by my bishop. So it's like an exercise in pins, isn't it? Wow, we have ourselves a sharp position, boys and girls. Push. Queen takes, I take with check, doesn't work. Push. Just threaten to move my knight. I think I can push safely. I think I can. And again, I'm attacking this piece, but the knight is not pinned. However, should the knight move, then this guy, right, can now move with a free play. Sharpness. He's really taking his time. That's nice to see as well. Really good to see. So I'm actually catching up with my rapid rating in Blitz. So I'm 1559 currently in rapid. Peak's about 1679, something like that. Huh. But this is now a chess game. Lots of moving parts, you know, ins and outs and wherefores and stuff like that. There, takes, check. I'm up a pawn, and I'm up on the clock as well. So I'm threatening to take the knight. He should move the knight. Where can he move the knight? Well, he can move it there. That's fine. He can move it there. He can move it there. He can move it there. He's got four different options. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here isn't great because I've got 2 attackers, so that's probably out. Here is just on the side of the board, which is not very clever. The other thing is I also have knight here, check, and win the bishop. Knight here, double check, and win the bishop. See? So if this knight moves anywhere, let's say he goes here, right? Knight here is double check, which means the king must move. Always have to move out for double check. You even got this as well, haven't you? That's nasty. That is nasty. Yeah, so you can see all these threats that are lined up. Okay, now here, okay, interesting move. Now, first thought is knight g5. Let's evaluate. Knight g5. Check with a knight, but also check with a rook. Therefore, the king must move. Can't stay where he is. Can't go there or there. Can't go there. So the king is either going to go here, in which case he's lining up for another discovery, or he goes there. Okay, so let's say I go here, king goes here. I take the knight, pawn takes, no, no, no. I take the bishop. I go here, king goes here, I win a bishop. Yeah? I go here, king goes here, I win a bishop, pawn takes. Ooh. Bishop takes maybe. I think that's okay. Yeah, I've got nearly 10 minutes on the clock. I should probably have figured that out a little bit deeper. We were not expecting that. He found a different move. Well, bugger me. Right, okay. I can take the knight. I can take the bishop. I take, he takes, I take. Check. No, I take, he takes my queen. That's not very clever. We don't like that. I take, he gets clever and takes my knight. I move this knight. Okay, I have to take the bishop, yeah? Just sanity checking. Sanity check complete. He's not going to punk me. I'm threatening to win a pawn here. Knight takes knight, pawn takes knight, queen takes pawn, check. Okay. Now he can't take this because this pawn's actually just pinned itself by capturing onto there. So I can win the knight, eh? I've also got to check here. And so he then has to go there or there. Now I'm going to take the knight first. Because that knight's covering, it's defending this pawn for one thing. So whatever happens now, I should be able to capture that pawn. And rook's covering all of that. Ooh. Now this isn't good though, because now I take this with check. He has to go back here. I get the rook now. Yeah? Think we're alright. Think we're alright. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name. Ikjhguyg. Okay, well look, all these squares are out because of the rook, right? Yeah, exactly. So now I win the rook. Queen can't block. Bishop blocks or king retreats to there. All right. Now, I think check there forces the bishop to take. So what's the elegant finish? That doesn't work because knight's defending. My knight is under attack, let us not forget. So this looks like the obvious move. Okay, so I'm up, what am I up? A rook and 2 pawns. So this forces bishop to take, then I think queen takes, and I think we're just good. We're just good. So forcing move, it's check. It's a royal fork. He has to take with a bish. Well, you should have taken with a bish, dude. Right, queen here. Yeah, I mean, I can just take the queen now. There's no checkmate, is there? So you can't go there or there. No, I think we just take the queen with discovery, okay. And now. I've got queen here as an idea. He's got this or this, but then I win the bishop. Could just take the knight. free stuff. Okay, now my first thought is pin the bishop. One of the rooks to e1, bishop can't move, goodbye bishop. There's no pawn that can defend it. This pawn is hanging twice. I'm thinking this. This is a good fight though. For an 8-3-1. Okay, now I can just win the bishop. I can just win the pawn. Let's take the bishop. Threatening queen here. He's got to go there or there. Simplify. Rook here, check. I've got queen here. Whatever happens, I'm going to have a check. He has to go there or there. Okay. I want to make use of this move at some point. Can't go he has to go back here. And then I have bishop takes pawn check. Then he's got 3 moves. Anything on the back rank, I've got queen check. So he's probably going to go here. I've got bishop on, okay. Yeah, that was forced. He's going to go here, check. He has to go on the back rank, and then rook I think is mate. Rook e8 is mate. Oh, yeah. Hey, well played, bro. That was a good game. That was a good game. Enjoyed that. So where did his woes start? I mean, look, this is not wrong. This is like a King's Indian defence, is it? Well, it's that kind of setup. But it actually says white is already almost 2 pawns up. Because, look, I think bottom line is, don't go for a hyper-modern opening. So hyper-modern opening is where you don't focus on direct control of the centre straight out of the opening. That you very often use kind of bishop fianchettoes and set up your pieces and strike for the centre later. And I think this kind of style gained popularity in like the early 20th century, but it's dubious unless you're really, really good. So I would recommend maybe not going for this kind of setup. Apart from anything else, we've already got locked pawns in the middle, right? So e4, e5, and then putting your bishop here. Your bishop's just looking at the back of your own pawn's head. So that's not fantastic. So e6, yes, that makes more sense, because suddenly your bishop's looking down here, tying this bishop to the defense of b2. So yeah, I'm not enthralled with this. And from the look of it, with the eval, that is not a book move. It shouldn't be a book move anyway. Okay, it's not so happy with this. What I'm doing here is I've got the eval on, but I'm not doing the game report. Yeah, he's fianchettoed his bishop into nowhere. I develop. Okay, computer doesn't like that. It says we're now more or less equal. And this, yeah, like we said, unnecessary pawn move. I take. He recaptures. And now white is +6, right? Okay, look, you're 5 moves in. He's used 2, 10, 15, 5, 6, 2. Right, he's used like less than 30 seconds. Oh, he has, he's used 29 seconds, right? In a 15+10 game. And he's already in a losing position. So, my advice to you, right, is don't play like this. Don't play openings like this. Stick to something classical. All right, e4, e5, nothing wrong with that. Just play knight c6. Play knight c6 and get familiar with the Italian, get familiar with the Roy Lopez, get familiar with the Scotch, those kinds of things. It will do you a lot better this kind of nonsense is, yeah, it is dubious. But you have an eye for tactics. You have an eye for calculation for sure. You just, nailed one of your feet to the floor in the first few moves. So stop it. Concentrate on more traditional lines as black. If you want to go for a Scandinavian or something like that as well, that's okay. I think e4, e5. For anyone under, I'm playing e4, e5 and enjoying it. And you get a variety of games, but yeah, the early fianchetto, the hypermodern ideas, not really recommended at this level. So there you go. So each good goig. Hope that's useful for you and everyone else watching. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I do appreciate it. I'll see you soon.